Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be playing Neverland's Legacy. Let's move into how do you play the game. So this portion of the game actually does have one of the more unique aspects of kind of an action selection game that I have seen. So, depending on how much despair you have, the very first thing you need to do on your turn is do a despair roll. And that's the only time that you really are rolling your dice here. And what you're doing is rolling a stone of chance for each despair token on your character sheet. So say you are very despaired, you're going to roll 4 stones of chance. Now say, for example, you only have 1 despair token on you, and this happens to be the die that you roll. Well, you're going to reference your handy dandy little action reference sheet, and you'll see here that this is the taunt action. So what this is telling you is that you have to do a taunt action on your turn. Now you get 4 actions every turn, 5 if you spend your lone destiny token, you can gain a 5th action. But for the most part, you have 4 actions. So if you're super despaired, you still get to do actions, but essentially the stones of chance are deciding what actions you're going to do. Now, once you have determined what actions you have to do, then you can do your actions of choice and your the action that's chosen for you in any order you so choose. So you basically, for us as the Peter Pan and the Lost Allies here, we are trying to make it onto the ship and search for John and Michael, who right now we don't know where they are. They're going to come up in the search cards. Also, we need to take care of the pirates so they don't harm us. That's really it. It's very simple. So, our actions include moving, fighting, searching, taunting, which is moving enemies away from other people or towards us. And then we can do things like remove despair and rest, heal wounds. So that's pretty much it. It's a very straightforward gameplay mechanic, which I appreciate because this game seems like one that would be a good family level game. At the end of every turn, then you're going to draw a threat card, which is going to activate certain colors of pirates, and then add more pirates to the board. And eventually, someone like Captain Hook is going to come out, and also maybe some other named pirate enemies who offer a little bit more of a threat. But that's basically it. Like I said, it's very straightforward, but with the whole aspect of when you start growing in despair, you have to have your actions kind of chosen for you. So let's go ahead and get started here as we okay. So I'm reading the text here. Each location that you can be in also has specific texts that could give you different a unique action that you can take, or possibly could be detrimental to you at the end of the day. But the thing is, you have to have what's called you have to have you have to have control of the location, which means you have either more characters than enemies there, or you're there by yourself. So for example, in Neverland here, if we move back and forth, if we happen to go back to Neverland, we can actually exchange 2 coins for a item from the discard pile. So if we need a specific item that we see has been discarded, we can actually travel back to Neverland, pick it up. For example, here, if we make it into the crow's nest, we play with a threat card, top threat card face up. So we'll know what's coming. We'll know which pirates are going to activate. So I think that's actually a great thing to go ahead and do right now. Okay. So I can taunt an adjacent enemy to move to your location. Okay. So let's see if we can do this. I'm going to start with Peter Pan. His special ability is when I fight, I can actually deal a wound to 2 different enemies. So what I'm going to do here is, first I have to move. I'm not despaired in any way, so I don't have to roll any dice. I just get 4 actions of my choice. So I'm going to move on to the ship here. I can move onto any one of these 3 locations. I don't think I can go directly to the lookout. let's see here. Threats, named enemies. Move. If you move, fly between the top deck of the Jolly Roger and Neverland. So maybe I can go directly into the sniper location. Well, I want to move, fight, move, fight. So that's 4. All right. So I've moved. Now I'm going to fight. Well, the brutes, their special ability is that they actually take 2 wounds to fight. So no, maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I do want to come straight up here, fly right to the sniper's nest. Then I can taunt, fight, fight. Okay, yes. That's what we're going to do. All right, so I'm going to taunt as my second action and bring the brute over. So we're all up here in the crow's nest. I'm crowing. Caw, 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 caw. And now I'm going to do 2 fight actions where my fight, I can deal 1 wound to 2 different enemies. So I'm taking out this sniper here, and I deal 1 wound to the brute. Well, that means I have to do a second wound to the brute. I have to fight twice. But now I've taken my 4 actions. I'm alone in the crow's nest, which means we can play with this up top. All right, so we know that the blue threats are what's coming. More so for when Tinkerbell takes her turn, I can see where what's going to happen next. So, okay, so that's it. Essentially, we move into the threat turn. Morale check, perform 4 actions, draw threat. Okay, so here we go. This threat card actually has some additional text at the top. A wave hits the ship. In each location with stairs, all characters and enemies are moved down the stairs to the ship deck below if possible. Okay, so let's do that first. Let's see. The crow's nest does not have stairs. There's stairs here, stairs here, stairs here. So he can actually go down to the hold. He gets jostled down. And there's no stairs here, so that's it. All right. So then the blue threat activates. So that's only this 1 brute. So they only perform a single action, and there's a handy reference on the back that gives you their priorities. Sniper only, so we're not dealing with them. Then it says in their location. Somebody in their location. No. All right, move to an adjacent location with a priority listed under number 1. Well, nobody in their adjacent locations can they deal a wound to or kill a hostage or remove a search token. So then we do move 1 location towards the nearest location with a priority listed under number 2. So that really is either way. At this point, I get to decide. So we're going to move the brute here. That means he'll move up here. If he had moved here, he would have moved up here. So I guess technically there's a search token here, which makes this better than the mid deck. All right. But now we have to place some more brutes out. So we're going to place a brute here. You can see that the it's just a very simple diagram to follow. We're going to place 1 here, and then we're going to place another brute, so 2 brutes in the galley. All right, and then that's it. That essentially is 1 quick round of Peter Pan. And again, the name of the game here is really plowing through this search deck to find the 2 hostage cards, get them onto the board, and then rescue them to Neverland. So let's continue with Tinkerbell. She's not despaired, so she's going to start with moving onto the boat. Question is, let's see, who's going to activate? I can play with this round. All right, so we know that these guys are going to be coming up, and this guy's going to activate. But it would take me two boons to activate the brute. All right, but that's fine. Okay, so Tinkerbell's going to come across for 1. She's going to fight twice to get rid of the brute, and then she's going to pop down here into the captain's quarters, recover your destiny if you end your turn here. I mean, okay. That's fine. All right, so blue threat goes. We know that's just these two guys. And I get to choose because we each have 1, 2 threats away, 1, 2 threats away. And so I'm actually going to move these guys both here. Both locations would have a search token. So it was really a tie, whether they run back through the gun deck or go up to the foredeck. So I'm going to move them up there. That's their one action. Now we add another brute way down here and another search token down here. All right, that's it. Okay, so it's still Peter Pan's turn, so I still get to play with the threat deck up. I guess technically if I leave the crow's nest, I'd have to flip this over, but I know that yellow is finally going to activate. All right, so yellow would shoot anybody on their deck, which just means this one board. So we're safe for now. All right, so Peter Pan, I think, yeah, is going to search up here in the crow's nest while we're up here. All right, pirate loot. When drawn by a character, gain 2 coins. Okay, during your turn, discard a coin to perform a free taunt. When drawn by an enemy, okay, we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so 2 free coins. Good. So we remove this search token. Then I'm going to jump down here. I'm going to fly down here and attack these 2 brutes twice, which means each time I can deal each of them a wound, and I have to do it twice. So that takes up 2 more actions. I've now used 3. No, I've used 4 because I moved. All right. But that's it. All right. So we know yellow is coming. We also know that we have this wave hitting the ship, which is interesting. So all characters, enemies on a ship deck with stairs have to go down. So Tinkerbell is actually going to get knocked down here. Oh no, that's no good. I wasn't paying attention to that. And Peter Pan gets knocked down here. Well, now yellow's going to activate. Oh wait, no. Toward the front of the ship. Okay, I'm reading this as the last one. All characters and enemies on each ship deck are moved 1 location toward the front. Okay. So, boom, 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 boom. Okay, so everybody has moved. All right, well, good. And it doesn't matter that Peter Pan is in the same area as a raider right now because the raiders are not activating. I, however, have lost my ability to see what the upcoming threat card is. So, yellow threats activate. Now, if they were a sniper, they would want to shoot somebody on their deck, but they don't. So, they move down the list, and the best thing they can do is they have a search token in their location. They're going to remove a search token and draw a card. All right. Case of hooks. Junk. Pointy. Discard this card. Okay. That's it. They found a case of hooks. Okay. That actually helps me. All right. You guys can stay down there and search all you want. Okay. We are back to Tinkerbell now. Tinkerbell, I guess, is just going to search twice. She's not at risk of having a sniper shoot her, so the raider would just move towards her. So let's search twice here. Let's search once, and we found some fairy dust. Perfect. So we will give you fairy dust. We will need that, and then we're going to search again. Pirate loot, so you get 2 coins. Now I could use it to do a free taunt to draw the raider over and knock him out. Let's see. Do we want to do that? Heal 1 wound. Lost allies can fly to Neverland from here. Interesting. But not hostages? Yeah, I guess we'll use this to... Oh, no, it doesn't matter. I don't need to use those. So let's move. So I searched twice, I've moved, and now I'm going to hit fight the raider for 1, and he's done. Okay. The raider would deal 2 wounds if I was in the same location. So I can heal a wound here if I end my turn here, but I don't have any wounds, so we're good to go. All right, let's see what we got here. Yellow threat again. Okay, so the sniper cannot shoot, he cannot deal a wound, kill a hostage, he will remove a search token and draw a loot card. He's got junk. They keep finding the junk. Thanks, guys. Perfect. All right, and then we are going to place a new sniper with a search token in the captain's cabin. All right, and that's it. See how fast this game moves? It's nice. It's a nice touch. The only thing I'm concerned about is whether it's just going to get stale after a while. All right, so still no despair. Let me check and make sure there's nothing that I should be gaining despair for. Suffering, gaining despair. You gain despair each time you take a wound. Enemies are discovered in your location. Another character on your ship deck is fallen. Okay. All right. Nope, haven't had any of that happen. Okay, so we're back to Peter Pan. So Peter Pan, obviously, when you taunt, you may move 2 enemies from the same location. Okay. So we're just going to take out the raider here. That's 1 action. 2 action is we're going to search. And we have more treasure. Ooh, 3 coins. But there's only 2 left. Okay. So that was 2 actions. Can move for 3 and go ahead and search for 4. And we found John Darling, which is awesome. Nice and close to us. So, yeah. When drawn, place John Darling in the location of the search token. Get him to safety. If all hostages have now been drawn, also place Captain Hook. All right. So let me just refresh my knowledge here on how we get John Darling off. I think I need to search card, carrying hostages, enemy priorities, move. Rescue hostages. At any point during your turn, you may discard fairy dust to choose a hostage in your location and rescue them. Place the hostage token on Neverland. You must be on the top deck of the Jolly Roger. Okay. So I guess Tinkerbell is going to come up here. Peter Pan will just stand here and protect John for the moment. And Tinkerbell can run up here and actually either use her fairy dust, but also use her destiny token. All right. So that was my 4 actions. Let's see what we're doing here. Blue threat. Okay. So we have our brute here. The brute wants to come up to the galley, but that's it. They took their 1 action, so they're done. And now we want to place a brute here and 2 search tokens, another one here and here. And that's it. All right. So Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell, I'm pretty sure can move. If you move into a location that contains enemies, you cannot perform any more move actions for the remainder of the turn. Yes, I haven't broken that rule. But I don't have to, I'm not moving into a location, I'm moving out of the location. So, yeah, I am moving away for 1 action. I am going to rescue John here with fairy dust as my 2nd action. So really, I could have taken out the brute. We'll say I did that. Before I left, I hit the brute twice. Then I ran up and rescued John. So boom, we're already halfway done. All right. Let's see what we got here. Red threat. Okay. Then discover. Okay, so the raiders, their biggest thing is they deal 2 wounds if they can get to you, but they're not going to, so they're going to slide over here. And that's it. And then we will put a search token up here in the crow's nest and a raider down here in the galley. All the snipers are hiding in the bottom of the boat. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's okay. All right, Peter Pan. I feel like I'm just going to stay up here. You know, this is interesting that unless the sniper like reveals this one here, if tokens continue to come up here, I can continue to try and just search up here and hope to find Michael before they do. So anyways, let's take 1 action to defeat the raider, then a 2nd action to pop up here, which means I can play with this up, and it is the named enemy. Okay. All right. So 3rd action will be to search. Brutes, ambush. When drawn, discover a brute in the location of the search token. Okay, so that is unfortunate because I don't have 2 fights I can give it. I might use my destiny token because I just took a despair because an enemy was found in my location or discovered in my location. All right, so I fought, I moved, I searched. So I'm going to use my destiny token here to do 2 fight and knock out the brute so as not to take any wounds. Okay, good. And now where do I need to go? I need to either have courage or I guess you can't get rid of your despair at any locations. Okay. All right, so we know what's coming. We know we have a named enemy. Well, to make it more fun, I'm not going to choose. I have the 3 standees here for the 3 named enemies. It cannot be Captain Hook. We know when Captain Hook is coming out. He's coming out in once we find Michael. So let's just pick one here, and Mr. Smee comes out. All right, fine. Mr. Smee it is. So let's give him a standee. He happens to be the top card here, and he's going to give us some information. See, the backside of his card looks a lot like Peter Pan and Tinkerbell's, because this is if I was playing as the pirates, what I would use. But when he's the threat, we're going to use this one. So let's slide these over here, and we're going to put that close by. So he's going to activate when the blue threats come out, but he's going to tell you what he does. All right. Also, he has this passive threat. Mr. Smee does not kill hostages, so that's good. After resolving each threat card, discover 2 brutes at Mr. Smee's location. So he's basically just bringing in brutes constantly. Mr. Smee was more interested in loot than real piracy. He was gentle, kind, and one of the 2 pirates who survived the final battle with the lost allies. All right, so he appears in the crew's quarters. So he's going to go here. And the last thing is that we have to hit him technically 3 times. He can take 2 wounds, and then when we try and hit him a 3rd time, that's when we'll finally be able to remove him. All right. So that was the named enemy threat card. Let's see what's coming up next. All right. So we know that Smee's not going to activate. He is, however, going to bring in 2 brutes to his location. So not the best. So maybe we can taunt. Can you taunt? Oh, the enemy has to be adjacent. Okay. All right. Well, that was Peter Pan's turn. It is now Tinkerbell's turn. So what does Tinkerbell want to do? She's got a lot going on here. I think she's going to come back down here for 1. She's going to search. She gets treasure, which I don't have any. And she's going to search again. She found junk. All right. I think there's about to be a big battle here. Recover your destiny if you end your turn here. I haven't used my destiny. Yeah, I think we're just going to end right here. The snipers can't see us. Yeah, I haven't taken any wounds, so I'm okay. Alright, so that is the end of our turn. We know that red threats are coming up next, and so this guy has to go up to the galley. Yep. Yeah, wait. In the location... If he moves here, he can deal... If he moves here, though, I believe I'm following this correctly, because you move to an adjacent location with a priority listed on number 2. Deal wound, nope, kill a hostage, remove a search token, and draw a card. So, since the search token was here, but there was not one here, this becomes the raider's priority for moving. So, yeah, I think that's how we do it. And then... we need to put a raider up here in the galley and another raider down here. So 2 raiders and a third search token, or second search token. Okay. All right, so that's the red threat. Let's see who's about to activate red threat again. Okay. So if Peter Pan goes 1, 2, comes down here, he's going to have 2 raiders come up on him, but that's it. So I think that's the plan here. 1, 2, wait. After resolving each threat card, discover 2 brutes at Mr. Smee's location. Yeah. I forgot to do that. Alright, so lots of brutes here. Peter Pan took 2 moves. Boom. Oh, I forgot. I'm now despaired. So I need to actually roll one of these dice. And it is courage. So that's going to remove a despair token from you or an ally in your location. Alright, so let's do that first. Let's remove this. But now I only have 3 actions. So 1, 2, search. Maybe we'll get lucky and find Michael. No, but we did find fairy dust, which is very helpful. Now, so no matter who finds Michael, we can get him off the ship. Okay. All right, that's it. Red threats, we know it's coming. A wave hits the ship. In each location with stairs, all characters and enemies are moved up the stairs to the ship deck above if possible. Okay, so these guys all come up here. Smee comes up here. No stairs here. This guy's already up. These guys all come up. And that's it. Oh, and this guy comes up. Okay. All right, then red threat. So red threat's going to move. Actually, no. One red threat's going to discard this to search for junk. And the other one's going to move. All right. Then we will put a raider here. And a raider here. And a search token here. All right. Okay, lots going on here. We don't know. And we just resolved the threat, so 2 more brutes are brought in with Mr. Smee. We got a lot going on here. A lot of stuff. Okay. And I've not seen a lot of blue activation cards, so I feel like they're coming. Alright, Tinkerbell has got her work cut out for her now. If this is a yellow, she is in trouble here. Technically, if she moves... Yeah, I think what she's got to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, she's going to take out this raider for 1. She's going to move then. She's going to stop her movement and take out these 2 raiders. Then she's going to use her destiny token to take out this 5th one. But then she's going to end her turn there, so she's going to get her destiny token back. All right, pretty simple. As long as this is not a yellow card, we are okay. And it is. Okay, so yellow threat. Can deal wounds from a distance. Deal 1 wound to the nearest character. Sniper only on their deck. So this is considered a deck. He can shoot through the doorway here. So we finally have taken a wound, which means we're going to take a despair. But that's okay. All right, but that's the only yellow person. So 1 is added to the crow's nest. That's not good. And a search token is going to be added here next to Shmi. All right, that's it. Peter Pan's turn. All right, he's no longer in despair, so no rolling there. Oh, being on the mid deck is helpful. There is a trick to fighting named enemies. Choose an enemy in your location, deal a wound. If brutes are only defeated if you are dealt 2 wounds in the same turn. 1 wound has no effect. If the only enemies in your location are named enemies, choose one of them and roll a stone of chance. On a result, deal that named enemy a wound. If a named enemy has no empty wound slots. Alright, so I got to get rid of all these other guys first. So, gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brutes. Alright, so let's come down here, and it's the only place I can move to. And we will deal, so I moved once, hitting these guys twice is 2 and 3, and then 4, I can take this guy out, and that's it. So this could hurt here. This could hurt. Okay, if this is a blue card, we're in trouble. Oh, God. All right. Okay. So, all right, let's do Smee first. We are already in a character with location with the character with the most coins. Return all the coins to the supply. Done. Then deal that character 1 wound plus 1 wound for each coin return. Well, okay, just like that. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That was not good for Peter Pan. Okay. All right, so we are knocked out. I'm going to tip my character over here to remember that I'm knocked out. These guys can't hit me anymore, so they ignore Peter Pan. I should have drawn people over. That's what I should have done. I should have taunted some people with my coins. Didn't think about that. All right, so these guys now will move 1, 2, 3 down here, and that's it. So Tinkerbell now has her work cut out for her. Jeez, this is taking a turn for the worst. Okay, and then 2 brutes are added to here, and that's it. I don't know if I added a spare token or not since I'm knocked out. I don't think I do. Okay. All right. So that was that. Tinkerbell now has to spend all 4 of her actions to simply take out 2 brutes, and then we're done. So yellow, oh wait, no, I had to, all right, this is the wild symbol. It means I don't have to take a chosen action, so, but the sniper here is gonna shoot me, and so I take a despair, second despair, and this sniper has nowhere to go, so it's going to move down there. All right. Then we're going to add a sniper here, a search token here, and a search token down here. Okay. All right, at this point, I need to reshuffle this deck. All right. So, now that it's Peter Pan's turn, unfortunately, he still has to draw a threat card. Until he is woken back up, though he doesn't get any actions. So, threat card is red. This guy could move over here. That's it. Alright, then we put a search token up here and a raider down here. Alright, so Tinkerbell has to roll 2 of these dice. Alright, so she's actually recovering her 2 despair. And she will spend her other 2 actions to take out the brute, free herself here. That's it. So that wasn't so bad. And it is red threat again. So this guy is going to remove this token to draw a search card. And it is Michael Darling. All right, if all hostages have now been drawn, place Captain Hook. So, in order for me to win, I think I need to rescue and defeat Captain Hook. The lost allies win immediately when all hostages have been rescued, and it doesn't say, or Captain Hook has been defeated. It's not an or, it's not an and, it's just 2 different bullet points. So, that is the question, ladies and gentlemen. Do I win by simply rescuing him and running off? Because I could do that pretty easily here in the next turn. Alright, so Michael's there. Captain Hook is going to appear in the captain's cabins. That makes sense. And he activates on the red threats. While Captain Hook is in play, all of the enemies activate twice when their threat color is drawn. Holy cow. Alright. So, Tinkerbell's turn is done. We are doing red threats. So this guy, he would have removed this search token to... Okay. Alright. So it's Peter Pan's turn. He now activates... Oh no, we got to put out we forgot to put out more red threats. Here, raider and search token, and search token, and raider here. Okay. All right. Pirate token and red threat again, and they're going to activate twice. So, what's interesting here is that, yeah, I just lost the game. Because Michael appeared there without anybody around him. That raider activated, and he will kill Michael. Yeah, that's it. He would have killed him, and then he would have come down here. This guy would have removed these 2 search tokens to search twice. He would have gotten 2 apples. Those would have been helpful for Peter Pan. And this guy would have, I guess, moved over here and searched once. So that would have, given us an old boot. And then we would have placed out the other enemies. But that's it. I mean, technically, Tinkerbell could have moved up here and then used her Destiny token to rescue Michael, and then that's it. She could have fought off as best she could here, but yeah, because Michael was discovered by the pirates and I had nobody there to protect him, to take wounds in his place, we lost the game. So we'll never know. I'll have to look on BGG to see whether or not to complete the game you have to also defeat Captain Hook, or if it's just rescuing the hostages. Search deck is empty, hostages killed, all characters have fallen, a third named enemy would be placed. Okay, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Neverland's Legacy. Again, not too bad of a game. I did suffer. I should have played Peter Pan a little differently back here. Taunted some enemies over, taking them out. That means that when Blue activated and Smee activated, he would have actually had to move to me, and then I would not have had coins. His thing is really tough though, because when Blue activates, he discovers a brute at his location, and then he discovers 2 brutes at Mr. Smee's. So basically, when Blue activates, 3 more brutes are coming out, plus when it's like they're flooding the deck. So honestly, you cannot leave these named enemies sitting around for very long. They are brutal, which is tough. Let me just make sure I'm reading passive abilities correctly. Named enemies. Additionally, named enemies are skilled fighters. Okay. I also have passive abilities with black headings that apply as long as they remain on the board. I mean, yeah. Whew. That right there may do it for me. I may give this one another chance, but, you know, I feel like by playing by the rules, my kids would get frustrated with how difficult this game becomes once that named enemy comes out. You know, so it really is basically, I was trying to control the board and keep as many pirates off the board as possible, but really your focus needs to be running around and fighting those hostages and fighting people when they really pose a true threat to you. So maybe I'll give this game another chance. We'll see. Try out the other 2 characters. Maybe play as the pirates, but it really is the same gameplay. So interesting game. I'll give them that. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.